Hello folks, welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution as we continue on here with Isla Pena, and this is a really difficult island, so if you're having success here guys then well done, because this isn't easy at all. In the last episode we went ahead and did a star attraction, which is the mission for the entertainment district. Now we're going to go ahead and do the science mission, I believe it is, which is called needs management. And I have gone ahead and recorded this footage before I did this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sharing my tips and strategies with you. But if you see me doing things slightly different in the video than what it is I'm actually teaching you, then do what I'm teaching you, because I've actually learned from some mistakes I made while recording the footage, if that makes sense. So hopefully this tutorial is going to be a help for you. And if it is guys, you can support me just by leaving a like and subscribing to my YouTube channel. But good luck with this one guys, and let's get started. Now, as you can see, for the first objective, you are going to have to make sure you've got access to these 4 species of dinosaur and that their genome is 85%. Now, there's just no shortcuts to get around this, unfortunately, so you will have to make sure that you've visited the expedition centre, hunted down these fossils and hunted enough of them in order to have the correct genome percentage. Once you've done this, then we can move on. Now, this is where hindsight for me would have been such a big help. And the fact that you guys are watching this video, hopefully if you've not already, just pulled your hair out over this mission, then you should save yourself a lot of headache by listening to what it is I'm going to be telling you here. So there are 4 species of dinosaur that we need to create. Now you can see that the bottom 2 on the list tell us that we need more than 1. What this doesn't tell us is that we're actually going to need more than 1 of some of the other species as well. So I'm going to tell you exactly how many of these species you need to make and how you need to do it. Okay, so remember, first of all, check before you incubate any of these dinosaurs that their genome is 85%, or it will not trigger the quest. Somebody on Reddit was complaining that they kept trying to do it and do it and do it, and it just wasn't triggering, and it turned out that their genome wasn't 85%. Okay, now this is where you do need to listen carefully, and it's going to save you a lot of trouble. You can see there are 4 species of dinosaur in this list that we need to create. Metriacanthosaurus, Deinonychus even, Chasmosaurus and Gallimimus. So the first 2, the Metriacanthosaurus and the Deinonychus, these are your meat eaters, and the final 2 are your herbivores, your plant eaters. Now, very, very important, I can't stress how important it is that you get this right. The 2 meat-eater species here, the Metriacanthosaurus and the Deinonychus, must be housed in the same enclosure. And these must be new incubations. You can't use dinosaurs that you've already created, even if they're the right species. These have to be created once you've actually got this objective active. And so those 2 meat-eater species must be housed together. And also the herbivores, so that's the Chasmosaurus and the Gallimimus, they too must be in the same enclosure. Now you can already use your pre-existing enclosures for this, okay, so obviously you want to keep herbivores with herbivores and carnivores with carnivores, remembering of course that carnivores don't always mix well with other species, but there's nothing wrong with using other enclosures. Just make sure that for this objective that the meat eaters you create are housed together and the herbivores are housed together as well. Next piece of important information, and trust me you really do want to listen to this bit as well, the list here tells you that you need 1 Metriacanthosaurus, 1 Deinonychus, 2 Chasmosaurus and 4 Gallimimus. This is actually not true. Now, it is so annoying the way they do these objectives. It really is. You actually need 3 Deinonychus. Make sure you hatch 3. And the reason for this is that they are a social dinosaur, well, a kind of social dinosaur, and they will need others of their own species. And this isn't just so their comfort level doesn't go down, but when the objective updates, it will actually require us to do this as well. So make sure you ignore this here, and you do 3 Deinonychus. Right, okay. Chasmosaurus, you also need 3 of those. It says 2 on the list, trust me, do 3. If you do 2, their social tab won't be high enough either, and you're just going to mess up. And just in case things weren't complicated enough for you yet, the Chasmosaurus is also very picky with how busy they like their pen. And since you're going to be putting 4 Gallimimus with them, you might have to be prepared to move some of your other herbivores into another pen temporarily, or actually sell them off. And the reason for that is the Chasmosaurus is going to get very agitated if you have an overpopulated paddock here, and they're going to start breaking through your fences. Trust me, it happened to me, it wasn't pretty, I don't talk about it. Just to recap what we've done so far then, you want to make sure that you hatch your meat-eating species, that's the top 2 on this list, into one enclosure, and your herbivore species, they're the bottom 2 on this list, into one enclosure. But make sure you hatch 3 Deinonychus, not 1, as the list here would suggest, and make sure you hatch 3 Chasmosaurus and not 2, as the objective here would suggest. You can see in this gameplay footage that I'm showing just how messed up I got this, and I had to just do all kinds of moving dinosaurs around. It was a real nightmare, real nuisance. I wish I had all this information in hindsight, but hey, I've made the mistakes and learnt the lessons, so hopefully you won't have to. Once you've gone ahead and met that objective, it will change, and this is where you have to actually meet the dinosaurs' needs, in particular their social needs, their forest needs and their grass needs. If you've done what I suggested with how many dinosaurs to hatch, the social needs should pretty much be sorted. You might just at that point need to just play about with the amount of forest or grassland that's available in the pens just to make sure that these species are happy. But in all honesty, these are not the trickiest species to work with on this objective in order to satisfy forest and grassland needs. So at least Frontier have been kind enough in that sense not to make it even more difficult to complete this mission by having picky forest dinosaurs. Honestly, if in a patch they put a Brachiosaurus on this list, I'm going to put my head through the wall. And once you've finally gone ahead and managed to meet all the needs here, then it will be complete. Well, actually, the objective will be complete, but not the mission. There will still be one more thing we need to do, I'm afraid to say. But it's not too much of a challenging objective, the final one. So hopefully, if you've got this far, in fact, I'm sure if you've got this far, then you can manage the rest without too many issues. So some of my comforts were low here because I didn't know what you know now about having to hatch more dinosaurs than the objectives originally stated. Had I known that, I think this mission would have been a lot easier for me. Okay, so once you've gone ahead and completed that objective, you will find that your dinosaurs become infected with a disease, avian flu or something. And you're going to have to cure it in order to finish this mission completely. There's actually not a whole lot to this one. It's literally just a case of curing the disease. However, if you haven't already, you will have to research avian pox, it's called, over at the research lab in order to actually go ahead and cure this. But that shouldn't be a big deal. I happen to already have this researched. Obviously, you'll have to check that for yourself. What I would recommend as well, guys, is just keep saving often and use multiple save files as well in case a save file that you make just ends up getting messed up or something and it's just easier to reload an older save. Don't take any chances, especially because if you get a storm or something, especially if it's a tornado, it's just going to have the potential of really screwing everything up that you're trying to do. If you're trying to do this mission, which is hard enough as it is, and then all your dinosaurs start running out and mixing with the carnivores and getting eaten, and your dinosaurs that are required for the objective are getting destroyed or killed, and you start failing the mission, it's just going to become such a nightmare, you're just going to want to give up on the game at that point, probably. So you can save yourself a lot of headaches by just relying on the old save and load philosophy. And it's not really cheating because, to be honest, you don't know if there's a storm coming, it's just luck, isn't it? And you can prepare until, the cows come home with storm shelters and all sorts. But at the end of the day, if a tornado is going to rip through your fences, then there ain't a whole lot you can do about that, I'm afraid. And as you can see, it all started to go haywire for me on the final objective here. Unfortunately, I do manage to get a handle of it and start taking control. But you'll want to probably, depending on how many dinosaurs you've got, make sure that you've maxed out the research for your helicopter so that you can trank or queue up to trank 5 dinosaurs at a time as opposed to 2, I think it is, that it originally starts with. Otherwise, you're just going to be clicking all over the place and losing track of everything. So, yeah, just try and stay on top of everything. Focus on getting these dinosaurs healed because the quest is done then and you can't fail it at that point. Everything else in the park, even if it all goes to bits, can be recovered. Might take a long time, but you can recover it. If you fail any of these objectives, the whole mission is scratched and you have to start it again from the very beginning, including incubating a whole new set of dinosaurs, which you really, trust me, will not want to do. But I'll just skip ahead a minute or so there, and there we have it. The needs management quest is complete. And that was an utter nightmare. Hopefully, with the lessons I've learned, it will be a little bit easier for you guys. But let me know what you think of this mission down in the comments section, and also how you're finding this island. Is it giving you as much heartache as it is me, or are you just whizzing through? But don't make me jealous, okay? But thanks for stopping by today, guys. If you've enjoyed watching, please don't forget to leave a like on the video, and come back and join me again soon for more Jurassic World Evolution.